Are you ready to be a better public speaker? In this video, I'll share with you a few ideas from a recent experience that I think will help you. Recently, I concluded a 3.5-day seminar for 14 people. Over that period of time, I learned a lot about my personal style in presenting to an audience, and I found some areas that are really strong for me. And I believe by sharing my own thoughts about these ideas that they can help you to be a better speaker. Regardless of what line of work you're in, ultimately you'll find yourself speaking to an audience. And I hope that these ideas will help you. First idea, get out of your head and serve. What I mean by that is that many speakers, they stay in their heads. They're nervous, they're anxious, they're concerned about getting it right, and they focus too much on themselves and their performance, so to speak. I want you to worry less about it being a performance and more about connecting with the audience and serving them. What I take going into a presentation is this feeling of love for my audience, for each and every person, feeling a personal connection to each and every person that just builds and builds and builds over time. Now, of course, over 3.5 days, I have the potential to really grow my connection with each person in the audience. 14 people, I'm able to connect with them all along the way. When you're speaking to a larger audience for a shorter amount of time, you can walk in with that love and care for your audience and that interest in serving them. But of course, you're not going to get to know each and every person. But you should feel this desire to connect with each person in the audience by making eye contact with as many as possible and really thinking about them and their needs and less about you and your performance. What this enables is for the audience to feel that. They feel your commitment to them and your enthusiasm to deliver great content to them. That takes me to idea number 2, which is really important, and that is to speak without reservation. Speaking without reservation means a few things. To some people, it means saying off-color humor, that they say words that you might not normally hear in a public speaking presentation, but they're really being themselves, right? They're totally being themselves, and I respect that. That's not the way I present, but I respect someone being themselves and you seeing who they really are when they're on stage. They're not some artificial version of themselves, but they're the same person they are as if you met with them in a small meeting room or out on the street. They're just larger than life when they're actually presenting to an audience. They're amplified, but they're not an unreal version of themselves. And this is what I like to do. I bring myself to the presentation and I raise my energy level to be fully present and fully alive. When you're fully present and fully alive, you are super engaged with the audience, right? I wanted to say you're super present, but you're really engaged with the audience. They can feel your total presence and you're speaking without reservation. This also means that you're connecting with the audience in a humorous way at times, if that feels comfortable to you. I'm a humorous person by nature, and I love to connect with my audience around humor. So here's an example on that. On the last day of the seminar, I shared a quote, and I had talked about this quote and some other thoughts about it with one of the participants the day before. So when I was sharing the quote, I stopped halfway through and I turned to the person in the audience and I asked them to finish the quote for me. They weren't able to. They were put on the spot and they couldn't recall it and weren't able to. We had a good laugh around that, and they knew that I wasn't really serious, that there was nothing to feel humiliated or embarrassed by, because that's the last thing that I want to achieve. I was just having some fun with them. So I finished the quote and then I said, and what are the thoughts that come after that? And then they remembered and they were able to share that. Well, as I walked back over to the lectern, I said, thanks a lot. And I mentioned their name. And then we had another laugh. And they took it in stride. They were not embarrassed in any way. We just had a really good time with it. And this is what I mean by speaking without reservation, being fully alive, that when we're really alive and we're engaging with people, we'll sometimes play with each other. We'll make fun of each other in a good-hearted, sincere, and caring way, right? Not with any malicious intent. But I do that sometimes. I make fun of audience members, and I allow audience members to make fun of me. I make mistakes sometimes. I admit those mistakes, and sometimes I'll say the wrong thing, and they'll point it out to me. And so I'm not speaking to be perfect. I'm speaking to engage and serve. And that's a total mindset shift that I believe that when you start having that mindset shift, that you love your audience, you care for each person, you want to serve them. It's not about you. It's about being your total self, being totally present, and having fun because you're just so alive in that moment. I really believe that your presentations will improve based on following some of these concepts and not being so much like me, but being more like yourself and less like who you think you should be on stage. I hope this helps. If you have questions about some of the ideas I've shared, please place them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel because I release new videos every week. If you'd like to learn more about my services, visit my website, buildandbalance.com, and please share this video and this channel with others so I can continue to grow this channel and serve others around the world. Best wishes to you.